Torture, abuse, and pain has become everyday life for some UK overseas workers. What seemed to be a dream fulfilled has since become the worst nightmare for some foreign workers, especially those who came through the health and care worker visa. In this video, I will be sharing with you some heart-wrenching experiences some overseas workers go through. I will also share with you the devastating effects of the abuse of the health and care visa on genuine companies willing to sponsor care workers from overseas. If you are coming across my channel for the first time, you are welcome. My name is Pauline Popo Moyo, and in this channel I share well-researched information on how you can relocate to overseas without breaking a bank. I also share content on UK lifestyle and my life experiences in UK. Before we dive into today's video, kindly subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so that you are alerted each time I upload a video. Without wasting any of your time, let's get into it. The following are examples of torture and abuse foreign workers go through because of fear of being fired and becoming destitute in a foreign land. A foreign care worker says she was repeatedly raped by her manager but felt unable to report him to the police for fear of losing her right to work, in a case that exposes the way the UK's visa system for health and care workers leaves people completely dependent on their employer. The case is one of more than 170 examples of abuse and exploitation reported by foreign care workers across the UK in an investigation by the Bureau of Investigative Journalism, (TBIJ), and Citizens Advice. In another case, a Nigerian worker who complained about earning below the minimum wage was told they would have to move more than 300 miles for a different placement. The employer revoked their sponsorship when they refused. There are potentially thousands of people trapped in a system that leaves them vulnerable to abuse and threats, powerless to complain, and often losing thousands of pounds, Kayleigh Hignell, the interim director of policy at Citizens Advice, told The Guardian. These people are skilled professionals who keep our healthcare services running yet are left without a safety net when things go wrong. Others include a woman who reported being sexually harassed by her landlord in accommodation arranged by her employer, who sponsored her work in the UK, and a live-in carer who was threatened with dismissal and the revocation of her visa when she complained about being made to work 20 hours a day. From the 15th of February, 2022, care workers became eligible to be sponsored for a health and care worker visa. However, this visa route has been abused tremendously. The UK has become increasingly strict to try and curb abuse, and in the process care workers in UK are now stuck, failing to renew their visas, and some have been forced to leave the country. Companies in the UK are also suffering as both sponsoring workers from overseas and within UK has become a mammoth's task, yet there is critical shortage of healthcare workers. Grosvenor says it is prevented from making 3,000 visits a week as it pays migrant workers to sit at home because permits not renewed. It has gone from one extreme to the other, said Darren Stapleberg, the chief executive of Grosvenor Healthcare, the UK's third largest domiciliary care provider, who is paying reduced wages to 30 Zimbabwean workers and faces having to do the same to 90 more in the coming months. He stated that it was very easy to sponsor people to come over, but the system has been abused. So now they are making it almost impossible to get new people in, and staff who are already here can't get renewals. 11 of his workers have left the country, despite a care worker shortage of 152,000 across England. We are losing workers who have made a great contribution to this society, at a time when you could quadruple our workforce and still not have enough staff, he said. The newly hostile environment comes after the government issued 106,000 care worker visas in 2023. But hundreds of companies that have never been inspected by the Care Quality Commission, CQC, regulator were granted licenses, and the Chief Inspector of Borders found that 275 visas were issued to a care home that did not exist. Because of such issues, care workers in UK are no longer safe. It has become increasingly difficult to renew visas, and if you don't renew your visa in time, you lose your right to work in the UK, and after 60 days you have to leave the country. Even established, high-quality, regulated home care providers who have sent in evidence of block contracts with councils cannot get certificates of sponsorship extended or issued. Home care providers are now close to handing back thousands of hours of home care to councils. Already the visa problems were preventing Grosvenor, which serves almost 100 councils in England, Scotland, and Wales, from making about 3,000 care visits a week, Stapleberg said. First Home Care, which operates in Oxfordshire, Bedfordshire, and Hertfordshire, said the Home Office had demanded more than 230 documents, including contracts, care plans, and rotas, to prove it had enough work to recruit just one foreign worker who was already in the country on a working visa. So guys, this is the sad reality of the health and care worker visa. Care workers are forced to endure all forms of abuse to avoid losing their jobs. The future has become uncertain for those in UK who came on a 1-year, 2-year or 3-year visa, and are due for renewal. Some people have had to leave the country after losing their right to work in UK. Imagine, after relocating with your family to UK on a 2-year visa, then fail to renew your visa as Home Office is not renewing some visas, fail to get a switch as Home Office is demanding up to 236 documents from employers for them to be able to sponsor just one person within the UK. At the end of the day, one is left with no choice but to return to their country. As of the 11th of March, 2024, in a bid to reduce net migration and abuse of care worker visa, providers in England will only be able to sponsor migrant workers if they are undertaking activities regulated by the Care Quality Commission. Care worker and senior care worker main applicants will no longer be able to bring dependents, so I'm sure the burning question we all have is it still worth it to come to UK as a care worker in 2024? The short answer is yes, it's still worth it, but you have to be very diligent in choosing an employer. Target reputable organisations with good CQC rating and a proven track record. For example, the NHS. The NHS needs care workers and they are offering visa sponsorship. With the NHS you are guaranteed not to suffer all these forms of abuse, neither will you fail to renew your visa. NHS has a total of 930 hospitals mostly offering visa sponsorship to foreign workers, and with NHS there are no shortcuts, no paying for certificate of sponsorship, neither will you live under the fear of having your certificate of sponsorship revoked. If you need help with crafting the perfect supporting information statement for NHS job applications, use the link in the description box for my services. Otherwise, this is all that I wanted to share with you. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments section. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss any of my videos. Thank you so much for watching guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.